It's wild. You'll see the dad with the child on his shoulder, or two old child on the shoulder, and he's just wanting to see. Or he's pointing at the other ones, so they know I'm looking at them.
Hey everybody, this is Kelly and Ryan, and we're at Madison Square Garden. We had a chance to talk to Rex Brown from Pantera, talked about the history of the band, the legacy of the brothers, and of course his signature bass from Gibson and Epiphone, which we're hoping to see him use tonight. We hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be here
Absolutely.
with us, Rex.
Love to be here.
Let's just roll right into it. So my first question is, what's it like to play with Pantera after over 20 years?
It's a blessing. It's keeping the brothers alive and doing this celebration for them, especially in this building tonight, is probably a really nice stepping stone, and I believe in angels, and they're here with us.
That's great. I'm sure you've been able to connect with a whole new generation of fans.
It's wild. You look and see somebody, and they're looking at, we have a giant video screen on this rig, and I really like it. So you'll see one dude, and he's a little sad, and you'll see this other guy, and he's yes, and you'll see the dad with the child on his shoulder, or two old child on the shoulder, and he's just wanting to see, And so I don't look at the enormity of the crowd. I just look at the single pockets of the people, that I can see, because I can't see, probably 15 rows or something like that, but I'm always pointing at the other ones, so they know I'm looking at them, when I get a chance.
So you're taking it all in when you're...
I'm taking it all in.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, man, where you got to pinch yourself every once in a while and just go, this is truly a dream come true again.
So what do you think the biggest difference this time around is for you? You guys played some pretty big shows back in the day, and then for this to come around and to really be able to appreciate it.
It's a completely different thing, man. We have Charlie and Zach now, and they've just, number one, they've been great friends of ours for all these years. We get along extra super cool. Charlie and I went down, probably put about 80, 100 hours on tape of all the songs we were going to do for the set, and others that we would want to do, Charlie and I worked on this for 6 months before we ever got into a rehearsal room. That's just how good friends we are, Charlie has been one of my best friends for years. So this is another band, it's hard to fill the shoes of the brothers. At the same time, this has become a really tight unit, and Zach just puts the extra, Dime was a very unique guitar player, and he's my best friend, and it's good to see those boys up on the screens and with us, and that's what this is about tonight for me,
Yeah, how have you balanced honoring Pantera's legacy with any new creative goals you might have?
There's many ways that we want to keep this legacy alive, because the music is still played all over. We have a whole new generation of fans that probably wouldn't have heard this stuff if we weren't playing out here playing these shows, And so that generation of fans will, let's say the 15 to 18-year-old kids that come out, they'll shortly have children, and that keeps that new generation alive. And Philip even says it in the, in the set, the parents of the 90s, which I'm a parent of the 90s, it's a very important statement in the set, because it's about the gratitude. We're not doing this for ourselves. We're doing it for the name and of the brand Pantera. And by God, this music needs to be heard again. It does.
Amen.
It needed to for a long fucking time. And that's what we're here doing tonight. We're playing a show, just like any other show. We're gonna be the way I'm gonna look at it is we're playing a small club, and I love playing small clubs, man.
So let's get to some of the aspects of your bass playing. I think a lot of people would probably be surprised to know that you come from a jazz background. You have a lot of swing in the way you play, a lot of groove stuff.
And I've really been getting into a lot of my heroes from back in the days, because when you start playing these songs again, the creative juices flow. I've even been going to jazz clubs on days off. Found a killer one in Kansas City. It was just, all the Red Velvet, and, had two bands that came up and just improvised. And that's what we used to do. That's how we started this band. You know, I'm the last dog standing, and of the brothers, and I just holding the low end down. That's all there is to it.
I think there's more to it than
yeah.
that. You're kind of like the engine room of the band. When a lot of us were younger, we were trying to cop a lot of what Dime was doing as a guitar player. When you realize how much the bass informed these riffs, how much of the low end was carrying, like, when it was just the guitar by itself, it sounded fine. But when you guys locked in together, that's when it sounded like Pantera.
He wanted me to play everything in unison with him, and I said, well, if we do that, Vinnie and I can't lock in, because you got to keep that beat down. So over the years, and you got to remember, we put out our first record, Dom was 15, I was 17. Vinnie was 17 also, and the other singer that we had, those first 3 records that are never going to come out. But, you know, it's just one of those things, it's like demo tapes, and that's what it was back in '82 when we first started doing that. Was, you know, we had our own label and we just put it out on vinyl and also cassette, and we sold 50,000 units of that in the back seat of our cars, literally, in a year of playing gigs.
You'll
we
never
played
see that
close
again.
to 300 gigs the year of 88 and 89.
Wow. Jeez.
But we were stuck in Texas.
How'd you get out?
Came up here,
Yeah.
showcased a few times, went to LA, showcased a few times. We couldn't afford a hotel room, so we just parked the van on what we thought was the nicest street we could here on a $10 a day per diem back in the day, and it was fun, man. You know, it's the same feeling that I have today. You know, it's just wonderful to be able to do this and pay homage to my music, the riffs that I wrote, you know, or the riffs that Dime wrote, or the patterns that Vinnie played, you know, and for what Phil came up with. Tremendous impact on this music.
You seem to gravitate more towards the Thunderbird style of basses. What attracted you to
I
that?
wanted to bring back the old Thunderbird because they weren't doing Gibson anymore.
Right.
And I got lucky with the Cesar Gucan, just treasured friend of mine, and I said, let's do a neck through. And this is a neck through. This Epiphone just has different recruitments than what we had on the first one that y'all sold.
Right.
I put passive pickups in here, the old 76. It was crazy. I said, who built those? Who made the pickups in those 76 anniversary basses that you see all over?
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were bicentennial was what they were called in 76. I guess that was 200 years of our country's independence.
That's right.
So he was still around the company. So we talked on the phone and we tried to get this as close as we could get to those old pickups, even as far as putting the old pickups against these. I think these sound better.
And what is the vibe you like of a passive pickup versus you've
For
acted
different
in the
songs,
past,
you need different things, you know.
right, a little more organic sounding.
Just depends on the song.
Yeah.
You know, that's good on some, it's not good on others, say. You know, I have a whole arsenal of guitars down there that I like to use.
Sure.
Hell, who knows, I might play it tonight, you know. That changes every night. You know, my text like, what are we going to play tonight? I go, well, what am I feeling like?
Yep.
You know? And that one comes in handy.
Awesome.
I wanted to bring back the Thunderbird, and I got really, again, you know, got really lucky that I could do that. And if it made an impression on kids to get one, great. If it didn't, man, there's nothing cooler than having a Gibson signature model.
Hell yeah,
I mean,
you've
kidding
arrived.
Me? Are you kidding me, dude? Pinch yourself again.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time, man. We appreciate it. We know how busy you are.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate
thank you.
it so
Great to meet
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Rex for sitting down with us and talking about his Epiphone signature bass. Head on over to AmericanMusical.com and make sure to like and subscribe for more artist content like this.